Welcome to Has It Aged 6? Haha.
Fuck, it's
I
6.
researched this. And you may have noticed that we don't do them weekly. We just do them when we feel like it. And that's fine for us.
Yeah, fits with work schedules.
Work schedules, writing schedules and stuff.
Yes.
And if you don't know what we do, we listen to old demos and see how they hold up and see how has it aged. And we base it on 3 criteria. I'm always forgetting them though. Performance, production, and execution. Yay!
We should probably write those down.
Before we get into anything else though.
Ah, damn it, I don't have one.
It's like I can hear Creed in the background. Hold me down.
Oh my god. Well, it's better than what I've got out the window.
Anyway, band of the week. Band of the week is a band called Spare. I have their album here. Well, EP kind of jobby here. I'll send that on. But I did actually research them. They're from Ennis, County Clare. I remember them. We played a few gigs with them in Thoughts of Ruin. They're actually a lot of fun. Just kind of trash done by young lads. And remember the singer, guitarist, and drummer, they were brothers.
Okay.
Remember that. And Irish Metal Archive says heavily influenced by big names of 80s trash like Slayer, Metallica, Sepultura. Yeah, I give them that. And like the EP, yeah. You have your picture of like 4 boys with like the band t-shirts on. You can't even see it there, but one of them has the singer has a Batman one. Nice one.
Hey, at least it wasn't a Flash t-shirt, hey?
One of them has a Killswitch Engage one, drummer has a Camaro one on, fuck yeah. And I don't know what the other lad is wearing. But he's right there. And I do remember them being trash. I don't know if I listened to this that often. And they were giving these out with all gigs. They had a load of them. And one thing I do remember about them was that their backdrop was fucking obnoxious. It was huge. Like they stood up in the Piper and it took up the whole back, and we were like, right, can we put our Revenant one right in the middle there? Thank you.
Say Brendan loved that.
I know he got good crack. They were a lot of fun to be around. They were a fun band. I don't know what any of them are doing. I think the brothers were from Australia and they went back.
Okay.
I think that's what happened. And I don't know what the other 2 lads are up to. Actually, they should probably say who's in the fucking band. Yeah, hang on. Let me just.
You can tell we don't do this often.
No, not a hope. It's all part of the fun, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So we got Alan on guitar vocals, Peter on drums, Don on fucking bass, and Barry on guitar. Or that could be the other way around because they look like brothers themselves, the 2 of them. Anyway, the release is called Darkness Rising. 5 songs. But we'll get into the first one, which is the title track, Darkness Rising.
Look to me as God of all. Your Instead of breathing my fall. Follow my path, fear my wrath. He'll take my own, the cruel unknown. Darkness rising, put off the sun. Take what you have fought for. The desert must be won. The blood-dim tide is loosed upon my land. You suffer freedom by his right hand. See from the heart of the earth, a beast will command us its birth. Look to me, as gonna fall. Your instinct shall breathe at my fall.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I think we might have a classic. What's it?
Another fucking verse.
Yeah, but not only that. It's also guy decides to become singer like Dave Mustaine.
Yeah, the vocals are not great now. Actually,
My
Jesus
cup of
Christ.
tea.
I don't remember them being like that now because I've seen them live more than I listened to this, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as soon as it kicked in, I was like, oh.
And then of course you've got your trade-off solos, which just didn't seem to fit the song.
They're good, but we might get into it after. But they were just a little high in the mix because it's just like knife attack. Here's your solo. You know,
Pretty much.
So far, like, yeah, guitar tone and playing is pretty solid, but you know, it's trash, so that's not really hard to fuck up. Like, I don't think. Yeah. Oh god, here we go.
It really is.
I forgot that I actually, since we're being professionals, it was edited and mixed by Jason Donaghy at Bridge Studios Dublin.
Right.
Recorded at Electra Studios Dublin, probably by the same lad. Mastered by Fergal Davis.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where they put the editing first before the recording first. I don't know. I've never heard of any of those studios too.
Neither have I. They could be like home studios of friends and stuff.
It could be, but this is fucking hell, like 2005. So I don't know how the home studio situation was back then, but you know,
I'd say probably recording through a desk.
Yeah, definitely. Like the sound of it was good. The drums sound. The sound of the drums. They seem to be being tracked pretty good. Like you can hear kicks and everything.
Yeah.
Next song is called "Hidden Will."
you, and yet the truth I see. I close my eyes, release that hate, let the will take over me. Deep within there's a voice inside, poisoning my mind. Robs me of all sanity, strips me of all pride. Deceit, disarray, its thoughts lead me astray. Inbred, unfed, the hunger to see it dead.
Oh my. Oh boy.
Ugh.
Fucking hell. Those vocals. Jesus Christ, lad.
Dave Mustaine into the chat.
But look, they're only young lads, you know. They're only fucking.
I know. But
hopefully, if they're still rocking in bands, I'd love to hear what they sound like now.
I absolutely would as well.
Music, like there was a lot going on, and there's some really interesting stuff going on there. Like
there is.
The brothers were able to write a tune, but it's just when it came to the old vocals, it was like woo, nosedive.
Yeah, I suppose that's what happens when you can't find a singer.
See, if you're going to do a trash band, you have to do the 4-piece trash thing, you know.
Yeah,
otherwise,
at least get
people. Yeah, people gravitate more towards Megadeth and fucking Metallica and Slayer rather than say Anthrax and Testament and stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
or Dead Angel, who are fucking awesome. But yeah, Jesus.
Hopefully his vocal improved after they kind of went back to Australia.
Yeah. Then you never know, they could have come back. I don't know what happened to
them. hopefully we never bump into them after this.
Yeah, I know. I do remember we got along really well with them. We had good crack with them, like.
Yeah.
But there was some interesting stuff there. Like there was some cool drum stuff going on.
There was,
like he never goes flat out double kicks. he does these bursts, which I'd imagine are a lot more, to do. Like, it's one thing just to go flat out, but to actually have to focus and go like triplets and stuff like that.
Yeah, it does take a lot. Like especially when you've got to focus on your 4/4 thing on top.
Yeah. Right. Do we have time for one more and then restart it? We have 3 songs left, by the way.
Okay.
Next song is called Domination Alone. Domination alone, fucking 7 minutes of that.
Lovely. Yeah,
It was
that was something.
That was the most Metallica-ish song. That was.
I actually quite like that. I won't lie. Up until Dave Mustaine came in, I really liked it. Although I will say, too much in one song. Yeah, too much. There was like different
chances are
key changes constantly, and like I like a good key change when it's done tastefully. But at the beginning of the song, there was like 3 different songs in one song.
Yeah, it was like intro. That very first intro though, very Machine Head.
Yeah,
but that was way before like the blackening, like, so that was kind of cool.
There was some
it was like
Slipknot elements with regards to lyrical content as well.
Yeah, so yeah, it was like 3 or 4 intros, and again, Trash is just, there's not all you can do with that. And then
throwing it
vocals again. It was like they weren't as jarring this time around.
No,
or maybe
I actually quite like.
we're getting used
to
it.
Cohesive.
Yeah. Right. What is the next song? Outcast.
I keep pulling on the inside. Driven by his mindful, just mill the mountain. Hunger on the inside, you're a bit of portrait. Out to persisting, hunger and tweeting. Victims they backlisted, labeled not affected. What am I pursuing? Hostility consuming. Cloud stays mimic, sees the right grip. Mind for to live it, there with the earth. Mission, following no conformity. Fuck all normalities. Cannot shoot devotion, all is no emotion. Same blood in vain, one by one. Trigger them like tyranny, at least wave and touch the king. Power trip abusing, chaos consuming. Life death platonic, it's different categoric. I can speed the living, real warrior.
Okay, that one was aggressive. That one actually.
Yeah, it didn't seem as long-winded. I say long-winded, like I don't mean it in a negative way. I just kind of mean it like
no.
It just the last song it just seemed to go on and whereas that just seemed to kind of I thought it was like 3 minutes.
Yeah, that was to the point. That one I'd imagine I would have gone down really well live.
Yeah, I'd say so.
The intro was a bit weird. It was like, what the fuck? It was like, is it a build up? What's going on? Where's the beat? And then I was like, okay, that's cool. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, some songs like you do need that kind of a thing though. It's just to kind of make people stop and go, "What's that?" and then bang.
Yeah. So that's what I'm getting from this is like as it goes on, you're kind of getting into them. You know, you get so even like there's one more song left, but I'd imagine it's like, oh, okay. Like I don't. Maybe it's because we took a lot of breaks doing this fucking podcast, but
maybe
I'm not sick of this yet.
No,
you know,
no, I'm not.
No, I'm actually, yeah, it's actually a lot of fun. Yeah, just
could be because we haven't done a pod in like 2 weeks as well.
This is true. This is very true. Yeah, take breaks if you're sick of podcasting, lads. It's like you gotta get your numbers up. Nope. Yeah, Outcast. That was a good one. All right, last song. It's called "Brutal Fate." Is it good if I introduce songs like that?
Go for it. Yeah, why not?
Can't escape the pain. on this earth. The strings are pulled, you reap your work. Why must we live in fear? The Holocaust is drawing near.
Definitely could have been cut back a bit.
Yeah, there was, again, a lot going on in that.
Very much so.
Yeah,
and then that
I think
at the end wasn't exactly.
there was a lot in. It was like, all right, you're at the end of the take, throw in a fill. You know, it's not like they can just drop him in and do it. So
No.
that's more likely the best one.
Do this at the end, and that'll just be the last thing. And of course, the bass player had to get in the last note with just like.
I heard that as well. But apparently, from what I'm reading, is like apparently there's a different basis on the recording that ended up with the band after it. So I remember the last thing the bass player was new. Yeah, but,
Okay.
yeah, that right. Grading time. Performance.
Performance, I would probably go 9.
Yeah, musically it's tight. Like the guitars on both sides. If you listen to stereo, they're very tight. Unless it's Alan that did all of them. He didn't let the other lot have a look in.
That's what guitarists tend to do, Dave.
Never. I'd never do anything like that. Never.
I'm surprised that he didn't record the bass parts as well, you know?
Yeah, probably, yeah. Performances. The drums are played pretty cool. There was a few fuck ups, but he's a young lad, so that's just something people like us would just nitpick out,
But like at the same time, because he's a young lad, like it's something he'll learn from. Well, he would have learned from going forward after that.
Yeah. The only weak point in this whole thing is the vocals.
Yeah,
that
big time.
Brings it down for me a lot. Just
had they gotten somebody else in to do the vocals, I think they would have come out a lot better.
Yeah, that, and I'd love to hear if they stayed playing metal, the two brothers. I'd love to hear what they sound like now. I'd say they sound fucking class. I'd say they sound unreal.
I've listened to some Aussie underground Aussie bands, and like some of them are fucking unreal.
Yeah, like this EP is 20 years old if you think about it that way. You know, production. It's again, it's trap. We don't want to do many trash fucking albums on this because it's supposed to sound like that, but it really sounds like. It's very close to Injustice for All by Metallica, production-wise, for the music at least.
I think that's kind of what they may have been going for.
Like the guitar tone is very that's in the pocket trash. Yeah. And the drums are captured really well, like the really nice sound off them.
There is.
you know,
I'd say they probably use like an old school Yamaha or an old school Pearl or something for that.
Yeah, and bass, you can hear bass as well.
Wait, there's bass?
Yeah, I can hear bass a few times.
Oh my god. Imagine. They didn't turn it down.
No, they didn't.
Where was Lars Ulrich when this was going on?
One bit that doesn't sound like Injustice for All. Yeah, that's it. And execution, like, if you say, yeah, we're a trash band, there you go.
Yes.
It sounds exactly what you expect them to sound like if you describe, yeah, they're a 4-piece trash band.
Yeah, 100%.
Bunch of youngsters. So I know I'd give this one about a 6 overall.
Yeah. I mean, performance wise, in terms of technicality on the instruments and everything.
The playing on this is absolutely unreal.
Vocally, shit. Probably 3.
Yeah, see, it pulled it down. And yeah. Again, it's trash, so there's not a lot you can do with it. Like,
no.
It's not. So
this is why we don't play trash.
No. Yeah. The only reason, well, it's just because I have it in my collection and I remember them. So yeah, Spare Darkness Rising. Welcome to our Has It Aged canon, I guess. So yeah, this is on Bandcamp. No, not Bandcamp. Yeah, it's on fucking Irish Metal Archives Bandcamp. There you go. See how I saved that one. But yeah, they do. Irish Metal Archive do have a Bandcamp, and they have all the stuff up on that. So you just pay a little fee, and you can get most of Irish metal's history, like, you know, which is pretty cool. So that's cool, yeah. But yeah, there we go. That's that, episode 6. Woo! We'll figure out what we're doing for episode 7 as we go. I don't know what. Yes. But yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. Like and share and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.